Hi everybody, Geoguessr Adam here. And the next part of the beginner's guide is Peru. Let's start with Street View. Most of the street view in Peru, as well as most of the roads in Peru, are in the drier mountainous region as opposed to the flatter Amazonian region. However, there are some roads. This connected one, Puerto Maldonado. This one by Pucallpa. And then this little stretch between Nauta and Iquitos on the Amazon, which is, it's actually not connected via road, I think. Yeah, it's not to anywhere else. It's the biggest non-road accessible city in the planet, I believe. Anyway, so yeah, you see so going off that, there's two major regions of Peru, which you can see easily here. Green is the Amazon. This is the dry mountains. Now, they differ. There's a little bit that's actually not mountainous. Up in here is sort of a flat desert, while here you've got just arid to semi-arid mountains. And then you've got Titicaca Lake, which is a big lake. Going to terrain map, not a shocker, the Andes, except here and a couple of spots along the coast, literally, and that's it. And then the Amazon. So it's pretty simple in terms of landscape. You're almost always in the mountains, and Peru is actually very hard. So personally, I think it's the hardest South American country, but Bolivia as well. But Peru's a little harder, I think, because the markers are inconsistent. Often they're not there. So, but we'll jump into the challenge and see how that goes. So it was provided by someone. Unfortunately, I don't remember their name. Okay, so instantly you see mountains. You see sort of interesting mountains, but this is a big part. These poles, black and white poles, are found in Peru. Not only in Peru, they are also found in Bolivia. And I believe only in Bolivia. Bolivia and Peru, I believe, are the only countries that use these. However, they are... Bolivia, you won't be placed in Bolivia very often. There's not that many roads that are mapped in Bolivia. And more than likely you'll be in Peru. So these are great to distinguish Peru from other countries. Here we know it's Peru, but if you're just playing a world map and you get South America, these black and white poles are your first huge clue for Peru. These, K38, this is not a road number, this is just kilometer 38. Not helpful. You see the same thing from this side. These aren't helpful at all, other than, you have a kilometer marker, but just to, so you don't make the mistake of thinking that's Highway 38. That's not a helpful sign. So we do have a town here. I don't know what this town is. We're done. It's the town. I was really hoping for an intersection in this town somewhere. There's a store. But Peru is going to be difficult. I'm going to say this, if you don't know much about Peru, if you haven't been placed in Peru enough times, you'll quickly find out that Peru is not, is by no means easy. And it's always a challenge. It's a challenge for me. It's a challenge for most everybody. Although I think I'm a little disproportionately worse at Peru, I think, compared to, I guess, my skill level than others are. That's a weird way to word that, but what I'm saying is there are people that have less skill overall than me that are better at me in Peru than I am. I don't know. That's not... Basically, what I'm saying is I'm not good at Peru. That's all I'm saying. So we're going to Cusco, actually, from Urubamba. Well, it doesn't say, but I presume that says Urubamba. So Cusco is here. Urubamba is here. Could we actually be on this road? Well, we're not in Chinchero, because that's a big city. Well, not a big city, but it's at least
it's not what we saw there. So, I mean, it would be a lucky break in a way. We could very well not be on that road. The thing is, though, in Peru, often what ends up happening is if I'm not in a town, I just end up guessing. So it's archaeological zone. It's near Cusco. It's the cultural sector of Cusco. Now, what does that mean? Really nothing. What that means, though, is that is that somewhere? No. What that means is that it's just, I mean, it's going to be closer to Cusco, but it doesn't mean that we're on this road between Cusco and Urubamba, but the fact that the bus was there means we probably are. So in Peru, often, you're not going to find distance markers, you're not going to find route markers. That's what makes Peru hard. Well, you might find signs off to a town or something, but really, oftentimes you just have to strike a lucky break like we did with that bus, and hope that the bus isn't, going somewhere else, and it has the wrong route on its windshield. So what you may find with southern Peru, as this is, presumably, we've got a couple of sharp curves here. I have to wonder if we're not suddenly up in this part somewhere. Well, you see with southern Peru is it's a bit of a different landscape. Southern Peru, I think personally, has more kind of California-ish mountains. It's a little more scrubland versus rocky desert, which is more prevalent in the northern part of Peru. This is just sort of me. It's also more present up in this part as well, just simply because of, I mean, it's on the border where you get wet Amazonian rain versus here where it's very dry in the Atacama. But it's something that I've noticed often with, especially around Titicaca, you have sort of a nice agricultural area here. I mean, if you look at this, it could be in Italy again, for example. You could be somewhere in the American West, but it's not rocky desert like it is closer to the coast often in Peru. So we do have some sharp curves here, which makes you think that this, I mean, it could be one of these. Ultimately, I'm actually going to go back to the start. So I went south. Let's go north or west and see if I get somewhere quickly. I have to wonder now if I mean, no, because then you're right at Urubamba, unless I'm in this part somewhere. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I think me guessing right now is basically a good indicator for what happens in Peru, often. So I'm going to do it. And I was right, just the wrong section. So what I actually came through was not... Oh, I was right on the verge of going to Chinchero. Okay. Yeah, so... so really it's a good indicator, which is that you have to strike a lucky break, because if you don't, you're kind of just guessing Peru and that's it, which is what often happens to me. Okay, here you notice a couple things. First, dry, super dry. What you may also notice is it looks like that Chile location we looked at in the first episode, which was by Iquique, and you'd be right, because I'm pretty sure we're on the 1E. I don't know where, but somewhere on the 1E. It looks, I mean, there's the coast. Look, there's the coast. That's water. So we're on the coast somewhere in the super dry Atacama Desert, which I've talked about before. It's one of the big defining features of South America, southern South America, to be more specific. And you know, here it's a matter of finding a town, really. I mean, because we know the general area, so this is sort of a more unique landscape because you have, not only is it barren desert, but it's sandy. Because other parts of Peru that are rocky are also somewhat barren, but it's rocks. It's big, I don't know, there's probably sedimentary rocks, to be honest. I'm not a rock expert, but often just the rocks are you know, it's just rocky, but it's not sandy like this is. It's not, you don't see this shade of just, you see big rocks, not this. This is just completely like we're on Mars, you know. And that's, other than that part. But you know, it's definitely the Atacama Desert. So it's just a matter of finding a town at this point. The one stretches along the entire coast, so that's not really important. It's also the it's the highway. It's part of the Pan American Highway. I don't know if you ever see that on a sign. Actually, I don't think I have. It's labeled as that on the map in several countries, but because it goes from technically from Prudhoe Bay, Alaska, down to somewhere in down to Ushuaia, I think, is where it goes along the Pan American Highway. But you know, it's really not important information. I don't see a town happening anywhere. We're going down in terms of speed. No, we're not, because that was 60 probably for the curves. So no, we're going back up to 80. Is that a town? That is a town. That's a big town, it looks like, I think. It's also super far away, because we have to round this and then come over there. That might be, I mean, that's easily like 10 kilometers. We see dust or sand blowing across the road, which I think is interesting. So now, yeah, now it's a matter of simply just finding something that will indicate where we are to get this closer than coastal Peru. This might be San Juan. Hierro, so there's iron stuff here. San Juan. Nope, no San Juan. Unless we're further north than I would have expected. But there's no San Juan, which means we have to go to the town. Yeah, I mean, there's stuff there. At first I was concerned that maybe it's a mirage, but there is stuff there. I mean, all of these areas in the Atacama were only settled because there's iron and copper mining. If you think in Chile, you had the miners back in 2010. Yep, that was in 2010 when they did the mine rescue of the trapped miners. But that's really why there's any. I mean, that's what you have with all the remote regions of the world. Siberia was settled as either as gulags or mineral extraction. Well, same thing with parts of Western Australia, iron and everything, to be honest, and here as well. So, bienvenidos to what? I don't know. Maybe the other side. I mean, the other side's not going to welcome us. Actually, it does. Petaro San Juan. Okay, well, we couldn't find San Juan, and that might just be the mine. So there's more stuff happening here. The closer and closer we get to civilization, the more stuff is happening. So I'm not concerned with this location. I think this one should be pretty simple in the end. I see. If you have a 5-minute timer, you wouldn't have enough time to get to that city, but it would still be a close guess. So that's ultimately the good thing about this. So the road actually ends here, which is interesting. Quite interesting, because this one was closer to the coast. Oh, maybe it's something like this. But no, it's not. It's not. Okay. The thing is, though, we should see some sort of marker. Yeah, I mean, that's just the mine stuff. Hierro. So, this is trickier than I presumed. That's just a kilometer marker, 38, so that's not helpful. Actually, it is somewhat helpful because we're likely 38 kilometers from the border of Chile. But nothing can be confirmed in that respect. For sure. It's harder to pinpoint than I would have presumed it to be, but it's not. I mean, in terms of Peru, like it's. I have no problems with even being 20, 30 kilometers off. I'm not exactly. No corras, tu familia te espera. Don't run. No. Yeah, I'm not really sure what that sign is supposed to be saying. Maybe, like, are people committing suicide here? I'm not sure. There's a naval base. And we're coming up to a roundabout. We're coming up to the town. Finally, we should be getting stuff after a long wait. That's the naval base. There's gonna be stuff. If we can get to it. There we go. I might just say Zona Urbana or something, but there's gonna be clues in the town. San Juan de Marcona is the town. So it is San Juan. I'm very intrigued. Perhaps this stretches farther than I presumed it to. No, there's no way we're up that far. No, we're down here. I have no idea where San Juan is. Something is strange. Come on. Lag. So, yeah, I'm gonna spend maybe a minute, to be honest, at this point, not more, because you see what I'm talking about. It's very dry, Atacama-like landscape, and ultimately that's what matters, not this exact location. So yeah, I'm not sure where San Juan is. Maybe it's in here. I mean, I'd be willing to go with this. And then that road that came in was maybe like that. And then, I mean, 'cause it's a big city that we've entered. It doesn't really look like this anymore when you're here. Oh, hold on. Marcona district. I think this is San Juan de Marcona, maybe. Puerto San Juan. Yeah, I think it is. A little bit further north than I expected, significantly, but I'm gonna go with it. It was just 30 meters off, in fact. Wow. Yeah, so it is a little further north than I expected, but it is the same idea. There's Nazca. once you get to Lima, the coast is a little different. But through here, it's all the Atacama. All the Atacama, continuing down to Antofagasta. Same type of landscape everywhere. Okay, we're in the city now. So here we might be able to get stuff quickly. What you look for in cities? There's not really anything you can. Well, there's not like a set thing that you can look for. What you just have to look for is businesses. It's gonna say it somewhere. You know, campaign posters, businesses, any type of stuff like that is gonna have a city name. And some of them might, some of them won't. That one doesn't, unless piso. Well, piso is the floor. It's segundo piso, so no. It's the second floor. You know, you kind of just have to look all over the place. And eventually it's Callao. So, see, there's actually Pisco, which is, I find interesting. So Callao is, is it by Lima? Yeah, it is. It's right next to Lima. Okay, so now just a matter of pinpointing. We saw there are street names. Raimondi and Internacional Este. Damara. Raimondi. So Raimondi is okay. I'm not gonna speak with that accent. Raimondi is east-west. Of course, there's a chance that I'm actually in Lima, and it just said Callao. It's all connected. It's all close. Yeah, Raimondi and Internacional. Perhaps this road is also smaller than I anticipated. This one's not that big, but the other one seems big. So Internacional is the one that we want to look for north-south. I don't see it, which isn't necessarily a problem. I mean, it would be if I were competing, but in this case, I think we've exhausted what we needed to do. I'm hoping that, I mean, I guess I can go a little bit further just to confirm it's Callao, that it's not a red herring, and, you know, that says Huaraz in Ancash province, which is not this one. Where's Ancash again? It's this one, which would mean maybe I'm in Chimbote. Is there an Internacional? No. Well, hold on. Is there a Huaraz and not okay, Chimbote? There is Huaraz. Hold on. Raimondi and Internacional Este. Wow. Okay, I'm glad I looked back at that. So, it wasn't Callao, it was Huaraz. So, again, businesses. You see Huaraz, you see Ancash. Ancash is a province. You will sometimes see provinces on these types of signs. You can zoom in and you see the provinces. I don't remember the provinces. Provinces aren't named after anything. They're not named after cities. So, it started south, a little curve, west, then east. I mean, no. But at the same time, yes. Oh, oeste. So this one instead of the other one. It's not est. Hold on. Yeah, it's right by the stadium. Okay, sure. Wrong side of the road, yeah. Also closer. Round 4 out of 5, also in a city.
Municipalidad de Lima. Well, that's an official sign, so I'm going to trust that. We're on Avenida Tacna. Tacna is a city, just out of, it's right there. Just in terms of, I don't know, I guess introducing you to what cities are in Peru. That's Tacna. Right down there, a big one. Okay, well now that's just Peñal Tacna, Brazil, Minas Flores, El Salvador. But I'm gonna assume that, you know, when it says Municipalidad de Lima on an official sign, it's actually Lima. Yeah, I mean, this looks like the signs I've seen in Lima before. It's Anton Sanchez, maybe. There's a bus from Callao. Well, no, it's Avenida Tacna. I don't know how I'm gonna find that, because there's way too many. There's Iquitos, so it's probably gonna be up in here somewhere. Abancay, these are all cities. Avenida Tacna is that one. There's 76 seconds until a green light. I guess because this is a big road. And crossing Pizarro. Hold on. Well, Tacna's not that big. Where's Pizarro? Let's see, Pizarro is on the other side. There it is, yeah. It's on the other side. Okay, so I started by this one. Viru. Giron Viru. Right there. 5,000 points. In the final round, you see fields. So, what you see here is sort of a dry field for sure, but one that could also be found in northern Chile. So perhaps we're somewhere in southern Peru again, but who knows. Don't contaminate the water, or the waters in general, because there's a creek. This sign might be helpful. It's a big long one. No, it's not, unfortunately. I'm actually going to go back to that. La Via is in, yeah, so this. PE1NE. What that means is, I'm pretty sure that means that I'm on the 1N. But we'll find out. The reason why I'm saying I'm pretty sure, hold on. I have a hunch here. PE. Pura, no. It's not it. And the one end goes on the coast. That's Ancash. We know that one. It's not that. It's not in this part. It's Lima. One end. Well, just Peru, right? That's what. Yeah. So it's Peru 1NE. I don't know where the E part comes in, but maybe it's, who knows. Kilometer 22. I'm not going 22 kilometers or wherever this is, probably the province border. But what I can figure out is that, yeah, that was Peru. So that's also one way. These signs aren't often there, but they are there sometimes. At which point you can figure out that it's not only that it's a Peru, but also which road you're on, the 1N. So we are up in the north. What you can see here is also that I don't know much about Peru. By the fact that I'm not positive of the signages, but I'm willing to trust them enough. And hopefully they will show up and they will be helpful, but my experience with Peru is very limited and very poor in the past. I mean, the country, the locations are always fine, but my guessing skills in Peru are subpar, as we have seen. Maybe not seen so far in the challenge, but as I've talked about in the video. Okay, so it's the 1NE is what it says. Peru Lima. So now here's the question.
is it the Lima province, and it's the one end continues here as well as there, for inexplicable reasons. We're going to La Merced. Which I don't see on any of these one ends. P18. It's not down there. Okay, this is intriguing. So, first of all, the fact that there's two one ends is confusing. However, 1NE would make sense because now you're looking at 1N East, for example, which is that one. I just don't see La Merced, which is confusing me. Okay, protect the vegetation. Por Sayan. Sayan is the town. So Sayan is the municipality I was in. Let me just scan this. La Merced. La Merced. I'm just making sure. And through here. No, it's not. I don't see it. Is there a Sayan? There is Sayan right there. There's Sayan. So I'm going north to northeast. Here. And then who knows where La Merced is, but I'm going to ignore that. But okay, so that sign that you saw was also really helpful. Not that often seen, but you saw one north, one northeast, which pointed us to this road, and then you saw the fact that it said Lima, which meant that was the Lima province, or the Lima region, and then Sayan district. It said Municipalidad de Sayan. So once you're in an area and you know you're in that area, look for the painted election signs. They're always there. I don't know why. Apparently they have elections like every year or something, because there's always painted election signs. Literally, there's always painted election signs that I see. Urbana. Which means that you can trust that once you're in that area, you can trust those election signs, and those will confirm what city you're in. Or what town you're in, rather. If it's a small town. If it's a city, then there'll be other signs that should help. So I'm thinking that this is actually Sayan, the town of Sayan. Although if that were the case, then I would be coming from this road. The one north apparently continues on a dirt road. 1NE towards La Merced. I mean, we're in this area, right? Ultimately, it doesn't matter. Yeah, close enough. 16 kilometers further south. Yeah, okay. I buy that. Santa Rosa. Okay, yeah, I buy that, for sure. As you've seen here, Peru is not the easiest. 23,816 is a very good score, though. But, yeah, it's certainly not the easiest. What I do want to show, though, is the Amazonian region, because we did not get to see that, as well as Lake Titicaca. So, I'll pull up Lake Titicaca first. You see a few... yeah, maybe we'll see it on the Bolivian challenge, who knows. But what you see is a big lake, you see here, sort of a plainsy type of feel to it. The area around the lake, as you see here, well, that's a town, but yeah, more kind of, again, a Mediterranean-ish feel. There's the actual reserve, which is here. You get some of these green type steppes, a little bit like Mongolia, or maybe not Mongolia, like Eastern Russia is the closest comparison I would have to it, which is definitely going to point you down to the area around the lake. In the north, you have the flat desert. flat. You see nothing. It's just desert. There's no mountains. So this is contrasted with this. Both are sandy, but here there's tons of mountains. Here there's no mountains. It's flat. And then the last region that I would show is Iquitos. I mean, look at this. It's like Colombia or like the Amazon. Well, I mean, it is the Amazon. It's like Brazil or Colombia. Same thing down in this part. Exact same thing. You know, you could easily confuse this with Colombia, but look for stuff such as Peru. If there's no stone markers, or if there are stone markers and it's more the Peruvian, it says PE at the top, obviously it's Peru. So, and you won't be placed in these areas too often. You'll mostly be in this part, and when you're in the mountains in the center, it's a little bit more, you know, you could be places like this, which look barren, completely barren and rocky, but it's Peru. It's not southern. You could confuse this with southern Chile or Argentina, but no, it is Peru, which can often be apparent by the election signs, which is really going to point you to Peru. And probably in these places you won't really find any clues, so it'll just be a random Peruvian guess. But yeah, it's a difficult country, but it's manageable, and hopefully this beginner's guide in a way was helpful. And until next time, see you.